Extraordinary technology that has been protecting astronauts aboard the International Space Station against deadly microorganisms is now protecting a growing number of hospitals on Earth, thanks to AirInSpace. AirInSpace has something that hospitals all over the world need and want: a mobile unit that catches and inactivates harmful microbes, and is substantially more cost-effective than retrofitting hospital HEPA systems that are not able to provide any level of germicidal efficacy. The AirInSpace technology, Plasmare, is FDA cleared as a medical device for its ability to effectively and safely catch and inactivate even the most resistant microorganisms.
Hello, my name is Vance Bergeron, and I'm the Scientific Director for AirInSpace. And indeed, we have a problem in space with biopathogens, but here on Earth too. In our hospitals, in our workplaces, and even in our homes, we're faced with serious health risks. Our mission here at AirInSpace is to provide protection against these risks. In order to do so, we first have to understand what are these pathogens and how to destroy them. What we find is most of them are covered by a protective shell. And if we can destroy this protective shell, we can inactivate the pathogens and make them harmless. To do this, we can pierce the shell, we can burst it, or we can actually oxidize it.
The HEPA-MD technology used by AirInSpace is a multi-stage unit that exposes these different pathogens to all of these destructive forces. In the first module, airborne contaminants enter unique plasma chambers. Strong electric fields first stretch and break cells. Charged particles then stick to the cells and their fragments, puncturing their walls. The second module is an electrically active media that captures highly charged materials exiting the chambers. Materials in the media are continuously bombarded by plasma ions. Finally, the third module of the reactor is a catalytic converter. The system removes odors and transforms gaseous volatile compounds. Exiting the reactor is clean, purified air.
Aspergillus is a genus of some 200 highly airborne molds, some of which can be deadly, especially to immunocompromised hospital patients.
It's been estimated that we inhale about 100 to 200 Aspergillus spores of all types each day that can be devastating in the wrong host. So we have good evidence that the incidence of invasive aspergillosis is increasing. That population at risk is getting larger. Invasive aspergillosis is a healthcare-associated infection, and the implementation of protective measures can be successful.
Dijon University Hospital is an example of how hospitals are fighting back against Aspergillus and other potentially lethal airborne pathogens. Dijon University Hospital is protecting its most vulnerable patients with mobile infection control technology from AirInSpace. There are 40 mobile Plasmare units being used in the pediatric and adult hematology wards at Dijon, where immunocompromised cancer patients are at high risk from deadly airborne pathogens due to ongoing construction projects at the hospital.
We choose Plasmare. It's a new construction in our...
We chose Plasmare because there is new construction in our hospital, which led us to bring in this new device because we have a lot of risk of aspergillosis due to dust caused by the construction. Plasmare is effective because it can inactivate a lot of pathogens like aspergillosis and other spores. It can inactivate 99% of these spores on a single pass through the device. In our hematology ward, patients have neutropenia, so they are susceptible to this kind of infection that could lead to death. The mobility of Plasmare is a key point, because patients in the hematology ward are very fragile. So mobility is a key point because you can move this device from one place, like hematology, to another place, like a surgical ward or operating room. Or we can move the Plasmare to an intensive care unit. So mobility is very important. As a professional in infection control, if you don't have the opportunity to install the standard for the treatment of air, then you should have a Plasmare.